this computer.
Sweet, now we're official. So, okay, we are officially starting Roundtable. So welcome everyone to the Olympic District. For those of you that traveled from the Rainier District, welcome to our humble Roundtable. Okay, so let me just get started. All right, for those on the Zoom call, if you guys can put your name and unit in the Zoom for attendance, so we can take that. If you're here, go ahead and sign in. It's back near Caitlin. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about, there's an important recap from the last roundtable, and that was about the Order of the Arrow. You can find that on YouTube. And now if you all will join me in doing the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. On?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was just kidding. We are not sitting down. I made a little bit of a mistake. All right. So we need to do the scout oath and the scout law. Where is it on here?
Oh, you want me to just do it?
Yeah. Do you mind doing it?
Please join me in the scout oath and law. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to guide my country, to obey the scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so welcome. Okay, once again, I know I'm gonna sound like a broken record. I used to teach, so please sign the attendance, do it in chat if you're not here physically. And if you are here physically, sign the clipboard, because that way we know you were here, even though we see your shining faces. So we've got some hot topics, and then we're going to turn it over to John, who is going to do our presentation. So for national, we're going to talk about, have you guys heard about the 3x3 for the Cubs? All units, 3x3. So 3x3 is super easy to remember. The 3x3 is you need 3 adults and 3 youths, right? And to start a new unit.
So if you know of people that would like to start a unit in their area that are not being served by the unit, all they need to do is find 3 kids and 3 adults to be the leaders for that, and we can get them started right away. Even if they don't have a chartering organization, we can charter them with the council for a limited time offer.
Yes.
And for an additional bonus limited time offer, now running until a time undetermined. Any new units that are looking to charter, National will be waiving the $100 charter fee. We don't know if this is going to last for a week. We don't know if this is going to last for a month, but it is going on now until the money runs out from the anonymous donor. Yes.
I have a question. Does
Yeah.
that mean units that we're not able to sustain want to come back? Would that be the same circumstance?
Yes. If they have not been a unit for more than a year.
Okay.
The catch is the 3x3 is that they have 1 year to get to a 5x5.
Correct. That is an important caveat. So they don't get to stay a 3x3.
They have to grow.
Correct. And they have to develop a plan for growth.
Okay, so they would be partnered with a commissioner, maybe, hopefully, to do that.
For the insurance.
Or a new member coordinator. Okay, all right. So now we're going to talk about a couple other things. We're going to talk about Camporee, which is October 11th through the 13th. So if you haven't signed up, please, 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 please sign up. It is a great activity for the Scouts. And Mark, you want to talk a little bit about Camporee and Coveree?
Okay, so Camporee is going to go on at Camp Thunderbird the week before Coveree. If you want to be involved in Camporee, contact Brandon West, and he has all the information on that. Coveree is our district event right now, and it is going to be a big event at the Grays Harbor Fairgrounds in Elma. It is going to be October 18th through the 20th. It is a camping event for PAX. You can also do a day use on Saturday, where the event is focused on the JOTA Jody and the International Spirit Award, and we're going to try and get it where every kid that walks through the registration table and every scout will earn the International Spirit Award. They will also have the opportunity to earn the Conservation Good Turn Award and the Messenger of Peace Award. And also they'll have the opportunity to do shooting sports. And we're bringing in a fish tank with 300 fish, and they will be able to do fishing and all of those activities. It should be a blast. We spent a lot of time putting it together. Please register. We're looking forward to having 150 participants. Right now we're at about 60. So please sign up if you are a PAC. We are offering opportunities for troop scouts to volunteer. Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
What is JOTA and Jody?
JOTA is the world's biggest, World Scouting Organization's biggest event every year. It's Jamboree on the Air and Jamboree on the Internet. So we're giving the scouts a chance to talk to scouts around the world. And so they're going to have the ability to talk to scouts inside the United States plus scouts around the world. And it's kind of like a competition where the scouts are trying to meet and check the box and see how many different scouts and different scout camps they can contact. Just like with our JOTA, it is contributed to Camp Thunderbird. Camp Thunderbird is a SCOTA, which is a scout camp on the air. And so we're trying to reach as many scout organizations as we can around the country, and then we annotate, and then the scouts get credit for each contact that is made.
Is there an email about the Coveree and Facebook posts? Because I haven't seen this many.
We are working on posting more of the Coveree and putting up Facebook posts. The council is working on that this week. It's putting out more of just singular Coveree posts.
That brings up a good point, Katie, because I think if the more of us that are cross sharing it on Facebook, so if I tag you, if you would share it, and that would help it move further, and then Caitlin could share it, then Todd, then Robert, then Tyler, then John, then Mark. You know, we just keep going down the line. Sorry, throwing out everyone's names. But yeah, and then Jamboree on the Internet is.
Jamboree on the Internet is the same thing as a ham radio, except for it makes it easier to contact, say, Japan, because we're not worried about antennas. You're going through fiber optic cables and using the internet. So you're jumping through internet. So we have a lot more activities. Like there's going to be a campfire through EchoLink, which is a use on JOTA. They're also going to do activities via Skype. So we're going to have we have a Tacoma Radio Club is coming and setting up, and they are going to set up at least 15 radio stations. So they'll have 15 different types of radios to use. Plus, we're also having some of the historical people come in, and they're going to bring in a old school first use telegraph. And so the scouts will be able to look and use and learn about the pen pal system with them scouting.
Okay, so, the College of Commissioner Science, who is going to that on Friday? Raise your hand if you're going.
Saturday.
Saturday. Sorry, I'm off by a day. I'm going, a couple of us are going. You going, Caitlin? Okay. So, volunteers are needed. If you're not a commissioner, make friends with a commissioner, join the commissioner squad. We help service the units, and it helps keep a line of sight to the youth, and it gives them the program that they need with the support that they need. Okay. We also have the same weekend as Covery. We also have IOLS. If you have not attended IOLS, I highly suggest it. We have it in the fall usually and the spring, right? Yes, okay. And you have Scoutmaster and Assistant Scoutmaster training that you need for your positions. So it's really good. You learn some neat school skills. Wait, I didn't quite hear that.
Sorry, say that again, please. Moving on.
Okay, moving on. All right, and then we have the OA Fall Fellowship, which is October 25th through the 27th. We have the University of Scouting on November 2nd. And then for my birthday, I'm gonna be doing night hike on the 24th, but it's on the 23rd and the 24th. So on that day, I'm gonna be leaving the night hike and I'm gonna go have some cake.
You said 24th for night?
23rd to the 24th. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna grab one thing real quick. We're gonna talk about.
Can I say one thing?
Sure.
We're talking about the,
Sure.
okay, so we'll have create University of Scouting and College listed right now. It will be happening.
Scouting with disabilities.
Yes, will be.
Yes.
Training will be happening at University of Scouting.
Okay, did everyone hear
Talked to Sarah
Katie?
today.
Scouting with disabilities is going to be at University of Scouting. Yes.
Yeah, good night.
Yes.
Good night.
Woo!
And we'll be promoting that training separately in University of Scouting too. So we'll be putting our own posts out
Okay, awesome.
when we get all.
Okay, so I know most of you know this, not all of you know this, but I am a lifetime struggler with anxiety. It kind of explains some of the things that I do. And so this safety moment that I'm bringing to you is about anxiety and how we recognize it among our friends, our peers, our coworkers, our volunteer staff, and how we can help with the signs of anxiety, or how we can help a youth that has anxiety and has a panic attack going on and how to recognize it. So one thing that I would like to say, and I actually had this conversation with T-Fine earlier today, Tyler, about anxiety and honoring that feeling, because it was a legitimate feeling and it is something that we do have to recognize. And it's not something that I have to apologize for or anyone else has to apologize for. But when we see it and we recognize it and we can help our peers get through that, it helps to make the program a little bit better. It helps make people feel like they are welcome. They're part of the family, and it can kind of help with the anxiety and the panic attack, taking it away so that you can show up and say, I don't know, do Roundtable and not have a panic attack while doing it. So I'm not dismissing it because it is a very real thing that I do struggle with, and my coping mechanism is a lot of comedy and a lot of laughter. There are other methods to handle anxiety, and Mark, I think you're putting that link in for anxiety, which brings me to my next safety moment. The annual health and medical record, which sometimes we all forget about because, you know, we're busy with our scouts, with our troops, with our district and our council. So sometimes we forget about our medical exams, and then we go on a camping trip and something happens and we have an incident. So let's keep those things up to date. I like to set an alarm on my calendar, like about 2 months before, so I can actually get into a doctor and get it certified.
I have a question.
Yes,
What kind of events do we need to have a medical for?
that is a good question. So we need those for 72-hour events, so like summer camp, we would need them. We would need them for other outings as well with our units and our district and our council.
What about unit events? What if my troop is just going out on a hike?
Yes, you still want that form, because I don't know if, say, like I have a knee injury, right? And my health has changed. I need to make accommodations. The unit might need to make accommodations. Maybe I can't go because something has come up and something has changed with my health. But for the most part, the health form allows us to be mindful that we are dealing with humans and we are dealing with scouters and scouts. So, my question. Long
What is
answer.
the difference between an A and a B and a C?
Well, you're asking all the hard questions. I did not know that. So,
That's okay.
I got
We can tell you.
you want to tell me? You guys want to tell me?
First off, I'd like to addendum what you said about when.
Yes.
Always.
Always.
Because if
Always.
you are at an event for an hour, like say you're going to a Woman of the Year event.
Yeah.
But you're showing up for a couple of hours and something happens to you while you're there.
Yeah.
We don't have your minute for, there's a problem.
Right.
So it doesn't matter always.
Always.
72, 48, 60, whatever, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Second, A and B and B1, all are initial information, things like who you are, your contact, community leader, emergency contact.
Yeah.
B and B1 give, like medical information, and the final one gives your doctor approval physical.
Yes.
Do I need to
Absolutely.
go more details on that, Mark, Daniel, or did I
That's what
cover
part
it?
C is for.
C is for,
That is the part C is the part that's filled out by your physician and is required for any events over 72 hours.
Usually
Yes.
requires an annual physical or physical.
yeah.
There's three other really important things that are on the physical that help us. One is a parent signature allowing us to treat a child if their parents are not present. That is really, really important if you have to send a child to the hospital, because
Yes.
you can allow them to continue to get treatment if their parents.
Yes.
Another thing that's on those forms that's really important is the consent to participate in targeted range sports. If a parent does not want their youth to participate in targeted range sports, they can make that known on that.
Okay.
And there's also a final one, which is consent to media release that is on there as well. So the parents are allowing us to take pictures of their youth at events and use them on
Our marketing
on
collateral.
marketing. So
Yeah.
if they don't want their pictures of their youth, they can notate that on the. So these are three really important things and why we need to act. And another final note. Expressly prohibits storing these forms digitally.
Yes, because of HIPAA violations.
Well, not because of HIPAA violations, because this form is not considered a HIPAA form, because we are not medical professionals.
Gotcha.
Therefore, we are not able to HIPAA laws.
Okay.
But they specifically prohibited on online storage because of for privacy concerns. We don't want people's privacy essentially violated the form.
That
They
makes
need to
sense.
be kept in the care of an adult at all times.
Yes, that makes sense.
Preferably under lock and key. If someone keeps.
Yes.
The other thing that's suggested is making copies of originals. So like if you're going to an event like Camporee,
Yes.
you bring copies of them. So
Yes.
if they are not returned for any reason, they should be, but if they're not, they only have copies of
Yeah.
the forms, not the originals.
And I think I learned that from you at ILOS, when I went through ILOS. I'm pretty sure I did.
Might have been.
I'm pretty sure. Which is why we have multiple copies
Yeah.
of the medical forms and everything. Okay, so, and one last bit on the annual health and medical form, it's also where we put our allergies down. So like me, I have a peanut allergy. That way, all the scouts and scouters know about that. So we've got kids that also have allergies. So we have to be mindful of things like that. Okay, so this brings me up to my next thing, and then I promise, John, I'm gonna get you in here, present, steal the show, and I can go sit down and have some coffee. So I am very big on sharing our scouting story. So when you see me out and about in public, I'm usually sporting like a scout shirt, usually a Class B. Sometimes I'm wearing this shirt. Excuse me for 1 second. But it's about visibility, right? So if I'm out and about and I'm wearing this, somebody might ask me what this award is about or what this shirt is for. It opens up a conversation, and you'd be surprised at the people that you can recruit just from going to your local store and talking to people. So always be recruiting. That is one way we keep the program growing, and that's how we increase our membership. So when you're out and about, share your story. Make that community visibility. Attend those events, right? Actually, one of my really good friends, Caitlin, I met at a recruiting event. So that's pretty much what my plea is. Wear your shirt, always be recruiting. Go out, tell your stories, talk to your friends, talk to your peers in the Rainier District, your counterparts. And let's see. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is recruitment booths and how we recruit. And so when we recruit, we have kids that are coming down from council and district. I know we've talked about them a couple of times. You can also add your own to your own recruiting bins. You can have different items that you want in there. But the flyers, you can get them from Jessica. We can pick them up at Camp Thunderbird, right? Yep.
As long as you communicate with Tyler.
As long as we communicate with Tyler.
And I respond, don't just mess up the expect.
Yeah, it's really important that Tyler says yes.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
So something recently came up when we were talking about the recent crossover clubs to parents that are transitioning. And one thing that came up when we do recruitment and recruitment booths is to have merit badge applications in the box.
Yes.
And so I was going to, that is, I don't think it's part of it right now.
You mean American Counselor Club?
No, the actual application for merit badge counselors.
That's what I mean, yes.
Yes.
And
The one page form.
we're in the process of updating that. That
Which I
is
heard.
being added to the membership.
Yes, I was making sure I was going to pass it on, so I'm
Yes.
passing it on. I
Yes.
just came up this weekend, so
Yes.
now I've said it and I told them.
And the scouting with abilities,
Yes, that's in there.
those flyers,
Yeah.
yeah. We want to make sure we make this as accessible as we can for everyone. Every scout deserves scouting. And then the other thing that I want to talk about is there's position-specific training for units. So when you go into My Scouting and you see your position, if you see a little thing that says trained, that means you've done the training for your position. Trained.
Thank you, Dana.
Trained.
I don't have all of them. I gotta.
If you see trained, you've obviously done all your training. Congratulations. If you do not see training, there are some wonderful videos that you can sit through, watch, and enjoy and pass your training. I recommend having some popcorns or s'mores, you know, pass the time, make it fun. Okay? And the last thing before I turn it over to John, it goes to merit badge. Great minds think alike. Merit badge counselors, please volunteer, help out some scouts. We need to get the kids getting merit badges. That's how they make equal. That's how they advance. So
How they learn and have fun.
they learn and have fun. All right.
Have you guys talked about how you do that at a troop? Have you guys already talked about how you do that at the troop level, like this?
Getting the
Yeah,
merit
like how
badges.
you talk to your parents at a troop? about
Yeah,
it?
yeah. So we've
That's
been,
coming up on Roundtable.
Good to know.
that, isn't that
It is coming up.
next month? Is that next month or the month after? It's December,
No, it's October. John,
October.
Nasnick's gonna put that in part of his campaign.
Okay,
Yeah, Jeff.
Okay.
It's on the website, I'm not on, so you get started over here.
And now, I'm going to turn the show over to John.
What am I talking about?
You are going to be talking, I think you're talking about recharter.
Recharter. What's recharter?
Is it
Am I supposed to know about this?
I think so. I think you're the subject matter expert.
If you're trained, you do.
Well,
You've got the trained badge.
well, that's debatable. Technically, so this is my old timey district commissioner patch. Shiny. I like it because it's shiny. But also in this vintage of position patches, I should say, the mylar, the shiny bits indicate that you are trained for your position of that vintage of patches. So if you see like the old Scoutmaster patches that are green with a silver border and they're all shiny and everything, that was what we did before we had the trained patch. All right, so good evening, everybody. I have to sit down for this part because I need to manipulate the computer and I can't hunch over the desk and table and everything. So, so we are going to be talking about recharter tonight, and recharter is going to look dramatically different than what it has looked like in the past ever, because now, as of August-ish, unit recharter is a separate and distinct process from membership renewals. These terms are going to come up a lot, so I want you to remember this. So with the unit rechartering, that is the unit renewing its agreements with its chartering organization and council that they are going to deliver a program, as opposed to the membership renewals, which is where everybody pays their money to continue to be a member in Scouting America. So, to help illustrate this, I have some handy dandy little things that I've got to pull back up to my tab, not that one, not that one, not that one, this one, right here. So, I'm going to share it on the Zoom so everybody can see it too. Boop and boop. Okay, so everybody on Zoom should be seeing that now as well. But so moving forward now, like I said, the process is different. So in the past, right? We all know how we did it in the past. For the past several years since we moved towards the online rechartering system, right? You go in, you approve your roster. Then you send it off to Cindy. Cindy tells you how much you owe, and then you figure out how you're going to pay Cindy for everybody's fees and all that, right? Well, moving forward, that is not going to be the case. So now when your units come up for recharter in December, all you have to do to renew your unit's charter is you go in, you approve your roster, make sure everybody's there that should be there, drop anybody you don't want to continue or is not continuing. And then you will pay your $100 and you are done. Congratulations, you have finished recharter. That's it. Now, here's where the wrinkle comes into play. Everybody will have, you as a unit will need to decide how you're going to pay for your membership renewals, your individual membership renewals. So you have two options. Either the unit can continue to pay for everyone's fees, and they go in and they will have an option in my.scouting to pay the fee for that person. And you go through all these steps and everything. Or the families can pay themselves through my.scouting and they put in the credit card and all that. So as a unit, you guys will need to decide how you want to handle this in the for this year and for years to come. Now, as you guys have already probably started to notice, everyone's membership renewal is a 12-month thing now. So for example, in the past, if you joined in August, and you would then you pay your money for the rest of the year, and then in December you got to pay again for the next 12 months. That is not the process anymore. So if you join today, we'll say you join September 25th, your membership will start
on September 1st. And that means that by August 31st of next year, or 31 days in August, right? Okay. By August 31st of next year, you need to pay your renewal fees again, or you will be dropped.
There's no grace.
There is a 60-day grace period if you do not pay your fees. So you will have 2 months. And if you don't pay your fees in 2 months, then you got to go through the application process all over again. And that means for adults, you got to go through the background check. You can't do anything with scouting, all those things.
So I have some that are due back on the 30th. I'm just wanting to follow. On October 1st, they will not go out of my scout book if it's a fee.
No, but they will be not considered members of your unit. So
That's what I need.
they cannot participate. They cannot show up to meetings. They can't go on outings. They will not be considered a member. The only reason they give them a 60-day grace period is so that they don't have to go through the initial process all over again.
But they're not covered by insurance if they don't.
Yeah, and they can't do advancement. They can't. Well, they also can't do advancement or receive credit for any like camping nights or hiking in miles or sort of any of the things you do as a member of scouting. I mean, that's kind of the big shocking thing, right? And Mark, do we have any questions coming in on the Zoom that I'm not seeing? Okay, so as always, as we go through recharter, the commissioners stand ready to assist you guys with any questions, with any concerns, with any problems you guys may have. So if you have an assigned unit commissioner, you can reach out to them. And if you don't have an assigned unit commissioner, you can always reach out to me. For those of you that are in person that don't already have my contact information, I will give you one of my cards. I will also drop my email into the chat here. Spiegelberg email. Okay. So, now you may be thinking to yourself, well, John, I'm a scoutmaster, I'm a committee chair. How do I know when my members are going to expire? How do I know, like, oh man, do I just not know? Do they have to manage it themselves? The answer is no. The key three, so the chartering org rep, COR, the committee chair, and the unit leader, meaning the scoutmaster, cubmaster, advisor, skipper, whatever, they will all receive emails 60, 30, and 15 days out-ish. I could be off on those days, but you will get at least 3 email notifications, as will the members who are going to expire. So if I am a committee member of a crew, for example, which I may be allegedly, then I will in addition to me getting an email at those intervals, 3 different emails coming out to me, my key 3 will also get those same emails. And then I will need to figure out between my unit whether I'm going to pay or whether the unit's going to pay for me. So, like I said, as a unit, you guys need to figure that out for yourself. I can't tell you what to do. All I can tell you is this is what's going to happen. So, and this is how it is going to work. So this is a handy dandy little chart that National has put out to help explain how this process will kind of work. There are also a lot of videos online that I will share you guys with the links with. I don't want to bore you guys with all these videos of people talking and things, so it's not necessarily the best use of our time. But I'm going to drop, I'm going to drop this. Oh yes, that is correct, Mary. So for No, it is 60 days after their membership has expired. So if they expire September 30th, 60 days after that, so October 30th or November 30th, excuse me, they will receive, they will then be dropped off of the roster. And you will see an option, you'll see in my scouting that it will say that they have not renewed.
September 30th, 1 month from October or August. and
Yeah.
then October, you went through.
Yeah, November 30th, yeah. So here is the link to this handy dandy website of resources. I can also show you guys, share this with you guys as well. But if you guys just Google scouting recharter, this is the first thing that pops up. But there is a lot of handy dandy things or resources here. So it explains the process. So as you can see here, here's these processes that went into effect March 1. Auto renewal, the individual membership renewal and fees are paid automatically by the individual. So you can like save your credit card information in there and it will just, when your expiration date comes up, it'll just pay it, good to go. Moving on. If you are paying for yourself and your unit is not paying for you. For example, some units I should say, pay for their adults and they don't charge their adults. And they use it through their own fundraising, they pay for their adults' fees. So for those units, they don't want the families paying because they as a unit have decided that they're going to cover their adults' fees. And they can also say like for the youth, if they don't want the youth to have to pay and they want them to pay through their fundraising stuff, then they can, then the unit can pay that way. No, so it's all online.
So one thing that asks is, how do we account for the individuals listed? To explain in that video.
Well, so this video isn't going to explain that. It just basically says everything's changing. But in the if you go into my scouting, you will be able to see who is expiring and everything. Yeah, and it'll show you who's due for renewal on your roster. Mark, do you mind if I pick on your unit? So I can pick on your unit or I can't? Okay, I'm gonna pick on Mark's unit then. We'll see. We'll all explore this together. Oh, I typed in the wrong link. Oh no, I didn't. Never mind. All right, now I get to remember if I can remember my password. Because this is not my computer. Nope, not that one. Uh-oh. Well, this is a fun experience, isn't it?
It didn't work for you the first time?
No, it's because I put the wrong password because I don't remember my password. So I haven't saved on my computer. It's saved on my computer. I haven't saved on my computers. Well, that's not where passwords are anymore. Don't worry, I can find it very quickly. Are we all having fun tonight? Are we all learning? Are we all learning?
Yes.
That's good. That's what I typed in. What's that?
I'm only one answering. Yes.
Oh, wait. But it's because I put my username in wrong. Hey, look at that. It logged me in. It logged me in. Look at that. Don't mind all the other options I have because I'm a commissioner, so I see lots of things that you guys won't see. But this will actually look fairly similar to what you as key 3 see. Since I'm a district key 3, I get many of the same options as the unit key 3 see. So, all right. So if I go into my roster, and I have totally selected already a unit, so we're going to pick on Mark's unit because he said I could. And you can't take it back now because I'm clicking. I'm navigating. So you can't say no now. All right. So you will see there's this handy dandy column here. I know this is probably going to be hard for those of you that are in person to see, and I apologize, but given her all she's got, Captain. So you'll see here where it says everybody's renewal status is current. And you'll also see that for people that have multiple positions, so for example, Mark's wife, There's multiple different expiration dates. Oh, but look at that. They're all the same date. So no matter how many positions you have, you as a member only have one expiration date, which is very handy for those of us that have a few different positions. Yeah. So let's see if there's anybody. Oh, hey, look at that. So here's one. So this one right here. So they have renewed, and you can see that. Look at that. Their expiration now says 9/30/25. And then you'll see here this one that says opted out. That means they don't want to renew, or they didn't want to do the auto renewal. And so their parents have said, we don't want to auto renew. That doesn't mean they can't renew. It just means they won't be automatically renewed at the end of their membership cycle. And then you'll see these ones here all say expired, which means their membership has been, yep, into roster. Now, at current, most folks are going to have a expiration date of December 31st. But as we continue to go through the years and we get new members and we add people and stuff, we will see the membership renewals start to spread out throughout the year, depending on when they join Scouting. That's an anticipated change that we expect to see in the next several years. Not an immediate thing. What's that? I don't want to ask Betty a question. But oh, hey, look at that. So this one. So like as a key 3 member, you will have the option to opt someone out of automatic renewal. So for example, if you know that a family has left, you've talked to the parents, the youth are not coming back, the parents are not coming back, then you can click this button and they will just expire at the end of their membership cycle. I'm not going to click that button because I don't want to screw anything up. What's the question?
The grace period lasts for 60 days.
Oh, we answered that already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, sorry. You had stepped away for a second, but I did answer that. No, thank you for keeping me on the straight and narrow. So that's what it will look like ish. But one of the things I do want to offer for everybody, if you guys are having an issue with trying to renew someone or you can't figure it out, shoot me an email. I can set up a meeting over Zoom or something, and we can look at your computer together and look at your account together, and I can help you. Yes. No questions.
Eligible to renew, have it submitted, and completed. Those are the 3 that I knew were up for renewal.
Yes.
So one was completed because I knew that was a year. And then the daughter says submitted. That means they put in a payment, waiting for it to be approved.
Yep.
And then eligible means it's have that.
Correct.
Okay. That's all I need.
Yeah, and you will be able to hit the renewal button 60 days out ish. Whenever the first email goes out that it's time for you to renew is when you will get that. So something else we want to really encourage folks, you need to make sure that your email that's on your my.scouting account is an email that you will check. If you put on there an email that is not one you're going to check, you are not going to get the renewal notices, and you will find yourself expired, and you will then find yourself out of Scouting. So it is vitally important that when we're signing up new families, that we ask them, is this an email you will check? Because the registration system will communicate to this email, and you need to check it. Yes.
So one thing I would suggest, because sometimes the emails go to spam or the trash file.
Yeah.
Make sure everyone checks it if they haven't received emails, or just go in there and check it and mark it not as spam. So it will filter out and it will go to your inbox. Otherwise, you run the risk of it going to the Neverland.
Yes.
Yeah. Favorites, contacts, yeah.
Yep, you sure can. So I know change can be scary. I know change can be nerve wracking, especially when it comes to recharter and our membership in the organization. Overall, I think this is going to be a positive change because it will make this process overall easier for us as we move forward as an organization, because now we are, instead of us having to maybe talk to Cindy if she's not busy and busy with, 100 other units, then, this is going to make it easier for all of us to have individual control over our rosters, over our memberships and our membership statuses. So I think that overall, this is going to be a good option. Questions? Yes.
So sometimes in the past, you have leaders, like I have a DAP who's in one troop and a DAP, the both leaders are one person, but now the membership part will be affected. They need to make sure that they're on both of the list when it's submitted.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That is a good note because, if you have, say, for example, you have a pack and a crew or a pack and a troop, that's a better example, a pack and a troop. And you have a parent that has youth in both and they want to go on outings for both. For the pack, they don't need to be registered. That's a bad example. But let's say it's a crew and a troop. That's a better one. If it's a crew and a troop and the parent has youth that are involved in both and they want to go on outings with both units, they must be a registered adult scouter in both units. You
Like
can't.
266 and a girl troop here, all the different units.
Right.
The same charter.
Yeah. You cannot participate in a unit, except for Cub Scouts, unless you are a registered member of that unit. You can't count for two deep. Well, and as far as I know, I don't know if Cindy's really going to have much of renewing with that at all. As far as we know, I think it's just going to be done and on. The only renewal stuff that Cindy will probably get involved with is making sure, checking their YPT and making sure their YPT is current.
Well, that's right. What you were saying, the unit is renewing the agreement, paying $100, and you say to stay, what are you providing to stay?
You checking the box just like you always have.
Okay.
There's you either check the box saying that they're going to be there, or you're checking the box saying the problem. As we have done in the
Okay,
past.
so that the online process.
Yes.
I don't do that box, but it's okay.
No.
I'm sure Brian knows.
Yeah, no worries. Mr. Brazel.
If a unit chooses to renew scouts and adults for them, can they be renewed in a batch? Or do they have to be that individually? For example, all the people who still have the 2031 date.
Like most of our units.
As far as I know, and you're welcome to email me if this is not the case and yell me and send me nasty emails
Don't wait
or
till
text.
last day to try it.
But I believe you could do a batch renewal for the individual members as a member of the Key 3. I'm pretty sure.
Put out at the council membership meeting.
Yes. So, yeah. But one of the things I really want to encourage everybody to start doing now, it is September now. Please start reviewing your rosters now. Talk to the parents and the youth now and see who would like to continue and renew now, because we would like to have the units renewing in October, November, not in December. Because if you decide to renew in December, you risk the possibility of running over and not getting renewed in time for the December 31st cutoff.
Okay, last question.
Yes.
What is the soonest you can register to keep the same date? So if mine is 12/31, I can go in and pay mine as soon as.
So
your
12/31. Yeah, your expiration date will always stay the same. It will never change regardless of when you pay.
Okay, it doesn't
So,
matter if
no.
the others are-
Yeah, the only thing that would change your registration date would be if you didn't renew and then came back and started a new application.
So anyone that knows it's coming, so-
Correct. Yeah, now you can't do it today because we're not 60 days out from the end of the year.
Well,
But-
that's right. So as soon as it's 60 days, that's the end. As soon as
Yeah,
we do the 60
60 or 90 days. I forget which one. It's one of the two. It's definitely one of the two. But I mean, like I said, you will get an email as soon as it's time for you to renew, and you will get several emails. In my case, you get one for every position you are registered with. So when it was time for my membership renewal back in March, I received 8 emails at a time from the system.
So I'm gonna get one for one individual email for every position.
Yep,
Yes.
yep.
You sure are.
And on the ones for my unit that are due at the same time.
You sure are.
Well, welcome to the club.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
It might be beneficial to set up a unit specific email.
But you can turn it off.
I wouldn't recommend.
Go into like a folder so that you know
Yeah,
it's
those all-
specifically
yeah.
coming up.
I'm
for
gonna set up a
renewal.
folder where they go.
Yeah.
That probably is good.
All right.
That's how I tracked it this time. It's not really there.
So yes, I would strongly recommend checking your emails, making sure your emails are current. And speaking of making sure your emails are current, I want to show you guys something, a very handy dandy little trick. So when you go into your account, right, there's my smiling face. So if you guys want to update your email, you can update your address, email, and phone number yourself. You don't need Cindy to do it. You don't need your T3 to do it. You don't need me to do it. You can do it yourself. So if you've realized, I sent all my scouting emails to a spam email that I don't check, which is a very common thing for folks of my generation. Us millennials, we have a lot of emails, and we like to have spam emails where we send the emails we don't want to really read. So if you go into my profile under your smiling face, in my case, it's a smiling face. If you don't add a picture, it won't be a smiling face. It'll just be a generic blue icon. So you'll see all of your handy dandy information here, my employer, all my registered units, all the merit badges I counsel for. And oh, hey, look at this. Here's my address. Here's my phone number. And here's my email. Now, if I want to change this, I can hit edit and I change it. If I want to add an email, I can add an email. Oh, and look at that. I can check which one's primary. How handy. That would indicate which one all those annoying emails are going to come to. This is also handy for those of you folks. What's that?
They're not annoying, they're useful information.
Yes, they are. So this is also a neat thing, in case you guys were curious. Hey, which merit badges did I sign up to counsel? This is how you can check your own list as well. So you'll see all the merit badges I can counsel.
That does not change it in Scout. You have to do it in Scout. Just FYI.
Yeah.
Because I had to do it.
Oh, I don't change my merit badges. So.
I'm talking about your email and everything. It doesn't cross over Scout. Right, sure. Scout plus, sure.
I suspect that I suspect that in the coming months that will not be the case. And I suspect that in the coming years, we will move towards a unified platform for everything. But I also wanted to let everybody know, everybody gets very frustrated with the things, the technical side of scouting sometimes, the tech related issues. I ask for grace because one of the things that we lost in the bankruptcy was a large portion of the IT support and the professional staff at National. And most of the backroom IT stuff is now being managed by volunteers. So these are professionals who work in the IT field, but they are not employees of scouting. And so they're doing this in their off time. So
I would like to add as a programmer in my, well, that's what I'm classically trained as with marketing, but as a programmer, I know Scoutbook and Scoutbook Plus and the platforms are really hard, but the debugging, the making sure it doesn't crash, making sure that the data is protected and it translates up. I know it's frustrating, but like you said, give them grace because nothing says fun like blowing 6 hours of debugging only to find out that National has made a change and then they got to go back and redo it. So. for the programmers.
So I see there's a question from Mary Goldman again. Hello, by the way. So it says, that means that they submitted their payment probably today, and it just hasn't cleared yet. So it usually will take a day or two after they submit their payment for the renewal to actually kick in. If that's the case, then they will probably want to talk to Cindy and see if Cindy can help address that for
It
them.
hasn't changed in weeks.
Yeah.
It's been that status.
That's what I'm saying. I'm addressing the question.
I read it right after it said.
So yes, I would suggest reaching out to Cindy to have Cindy help with that. I don't believe that is the case. There may have been an issue with the payment option they submitted, potentially. I don't know if don't take my word for gospel, but that is a possibility. The reason why it's still showing that status is because maybe the payment option didn't go through properly. So I would recommend that would, yeah. Happy to help, Mary. This isn't really related to what we're talking about with recharter stuff, but I did want to show you guys something fun. So you can go into your my.scouting profile and you can see, if you go under your picture here where it says personal information, where the option says print, you can click on that and it pulls up this cool report. I think it's cool, but I'm weird. So, and it shows all your information at the top. And then it will also show all of your registrations with the council. Going back, as you can see, mine going back to when I was a youth in 1998. It will also show, it also shows for me, it also shows all the awards you have earned. And it also shows, in my case, all of my merit badges I earned as a youth. And all my dates of rank. And all my training, but don't worry about this. Don't worry about the training. It's very long. But anyway, so I just wanted to show you guys that. It's a fun little thing that I think is fun. I understand that not everybody likes it, but I'm weird. And I wanted to share my weirdness with everybody. So any other questions before I give it back to Sherry? I had a brief stroke there for a moment. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not old enough to be able to call them senior moments. So.
I have ADHD, so that's my.
All right. So everybody, as always, please feel free to reach out to me. As your district commissioner, it is my goal to be a resource for all of you and to help all of you as much as I can. So I thank you for the time to talk about recharter, and I hope to help everybody get through this, and I hope we're going to have a great recharter season. We're going to get through this together, and it's all going to be all right.
John, thank you so much. Okay, so for my closing, I know I talk a lot about communication and programming, which is kind of my area that I've done, but interpersonal and intrapersonal skills help us deliver the program to the scouts. We promote our districts, our units, our districts and council and territories and national and international scouting platform. We keep it alive for future generations. So the scouts today are the leaders of tomorrow, and we are in the risk management business with our scouts because we like to keep it safe. They get to grow, they get to have fun and learn and be challenged. And my other thing that I like to talk about is building trust between the units, district, and council. So if you guys have some conversations that you want to have, hit me up on Facebook. I'm pretty sure you've seen me somewhere on Facebook. And I'm pretty much going to answer questions if I can or pass it up the chain. And now it's time for your commissioner minute with Mark and then John.
All right, well, with my commissioner minute, I want to think about everything that you know, membership and recruiting, and also thinking about, you know, the times that we live in and the economy we live in, and hotspot Fred's Closet. And so over the last year, I've spent time helping Fred's Closet And I've seen so many families come up to me and say, hey, I'm glad that this is here, because if it wasn't here, I wouldn't be able to afford a uniform and my kid might not be in scouting. And so I want to put my input on, please push out Fred's Closet to your units, to the members. Also offer it to new scouts that come up to your recruiting booth. Remember that it is open the first and third Saturday of every month from 10 to 1 at Camp Thunderbird. And just, that's something that is, really honored and really cherished for our council to offer. And it can really help and support people that are in need. So it helped. When I started my Cub Scout pack, it almost helped outfit almost the whole unit. Coming from a low poverty area. So please always think about Fred's Closet. And if you have any used or uniforms that you're not using, please get a hold of the council and Pete Bristow and get them into Fred's Closet so we can hand them off to another unit or another person that needs it.
One slight note on that too. If you guys are able, Fred's Closet will also take donations of new uniforms. If you are buying the shirts to donate to the closet, they will also.
And to go on with that, we're also looking for people to help volunteer their time at Fred's Closet. This weekend, Sherry did it. The weekend before, I did it. So
It's
we're
actually
always
fun.
looking. Yeah, it's fun seeing the kids' face when they get their uniform.
You get to be a personal shopper and they sign in, it's pretty fun. You go and you get stuff out, it's great. And now,
I gotta talk again.
you gotta talk again, you gotta close this out.
All right, well, unfortunately, what I wanted to talk about is much of a cheery topic as the last one, but, a lot of you guys probably saw an email that came out from National yesterday. And I wanted to highlight this email for all of you. September is a month where we want to highlight the importance of mental health and suicide awareness and prevention. So there was an email that came out yesterday from Glenn Pounder, who is a senior vice president and chief safeguarding officer for Scouting America, talking about providing a guide to units on how to talk to your youth about suicide prevention. Right? As we all know, this is a problem that we see with a lot of teenagers. Mental health is a very serious issue that is often overlooked in our society. It is often not properly addressed. So it is really important that we create a place where we can talk about this and make everybody feel safe, everybody feel comfortable. We all see it every day, right? We hear about someone who lost their life to suicide. I've seen it more times than I can count in my professional career as both a firefighter and a fire investigator in this profession. It is really important that we talk about it so that nobody hides alone in a closet. We can make sure that everybody feels safe, feel comfortable, and feel welcome. If nothing else in scouting, we want to be a beacon of hope and a beacon of light to the leave you guys with that note. That should get us out of here for the evening.
Hey, everyone. Hopefully, do we have any questions remaining? Or are we all good to close this roundtable out for September 2024? We're gonna close out. All right, it's the end. We're gonna close out. We're gonna stop recording. Everyone, thank you for your time. Thank you for attending. Thank you for presenting and helping put this together. And for those of us from Rainier District, cheers, welcome. We love seeing you guys here.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you guys.